For me, it was always I want to get 4, 5, 6 formations in those 15. And I want to get like 2 or 3 different shifts or motions just so that the rest of the game, I know how they're going to respond to that.
So, right. So, all right. So you just brought up, so script is basically a hypothesis, an educated guess of what the defense is going to do, or offense if you're on defense, because they run scripts too, based upon past behavior, a past series of behaviors and what you've seen other people do.
Right.
Keyword in all of that, guess. When I hear people say our offense, when we go off script, it doesn't, like, our guys don't know how to do the plays very well. It makes it sound like our coaches or our players are remedial. Like, what it is beyond it's beyond the players at this point.
It does.
If your coach can't call better, because hear me out. In a game, it's real time, right? You see what they're doing. If you can't call plays when you see what they're doing, you're not very good at this calling plays thing, because you're telling me you're better at the guess than you are, because you should be able to, on the script, match up with what they're at. So let's say you made the script to cover 2, but they're coming out running man.
Right. Or an under front or whatever.
Right, yeah. So, like, okay, now I know I can't run. They got, or defensively, we ran cover 2. They got cover 2 beaters out there. We need to go run man, or we need to switch it up. Yeah, you can't tell me your guesses are better than what's really out there, and you're a professional.
Well, and okay, I don't want this to sound wrong. At the SEC, ACC, Division I college football level, here's how this should work. Is if you get into a situation to where I've got this play call, let's say you've got a smash concept called. So you've got outside guy running a 7-yard hitch and inside guy running a corner route. And all of a sudden you see they're in cover 2. Well, that's not a good play against cover 2.
Right.
It can be, though. And if you're really well coached, then all it takes is that inside guy turning that into a deep out. And you should be coached well enough to where that is an on-the-fly, I've got this move by your receiver and your quarterback. The other thing that should happen on your script, and this is where I think Florida State fans need to pay attention. You have a script within the script. So you have your script, but you also, when you get to third and short, 3rd and -4, you go to a different part of your play sheet. That big ass play sheet they're all holding.
Right.
You see it color coded, like color for me. It was red was 3rd and short. So when we got 3rd and short, okay, here's my 5 best plays based on what I saw 3rd and short.
Right.
Now, if my guys aren't educated on why those are our 5 best plays, and when they come off the field, they cannot answer the question, what are they doing differently?
That's on who?
I'm screwed. That's on the coaches.
That's on the coaches.
That's 100% on the coaches.
I like what you just said. So here's the thing. If you don't have, let's say there not could be more, but I think it's overkill when you get to this point. But there's 20 scenarios that are in a football game from an offensive standpoint. If you have 5 plays for the 20 scenarios, some of the plays will be repeat plays. That's 100. That's at best 100 plays, and that is a big play sheet.
Yep.
That's all. Like, to use the example like that I had, and the guy on a high school level who's really good at doing this was the Hall of Famer Kevin Sullivan. We would have no more than, if we had 80 plays on the sheet, but we would go. Our Thursday practice was literally us going through our script.
Right. The 20 you felt best about.
I always broke script after about 6 plays.
Yeah.
After 6 plays, I know what I want to do and what I want to focus on. And every now and then, if I want to feel a little, just to mix it up, a little razzle dazzle, I might go to 75.
What you have to do.
Yeah, I might go to play 75 so I can go back to play 5.
Right. Sudden
that's been
change
working.
Or something like that.
Right.
Yep.
Or sudden change, there's things that break it up. But if you don't have 5, like if it's 3rd and 2, you don't have 5 short yardage plays that your guys know, you're not doing inside zone period very well. If it's 4th and 1 on the goal line and you don't have 5, like that means you're not doing goal line period in practice. Which you do this you have goal line at least 4 or 5 times during camp. And they added 3 weeks of camp, 3 weeks to your camp. So you can't keep blaming things when it's not really there. A script and guys going off script means it's 2 things, and it's terrifying if these 2 things are true at the exact same time. You've got dumbass players that don't understand right from left, or you got coaches who are overwhelmed and don't understand how to be able to teach the simplicity of what football is. I pick on Bobby, but I love Coach Bowden when he did this. Offensive line, you got to block. Running backs, you got to run. Hey, I talk about my position coach, Billy Sexton, all the time. In his simplicity. You know what he said to everybody? 5-star Lorenzo Booker, 5-star Leon Washington, no star me. Run where they ain't. If you don't understand run where they ain't, I can't make you understand all the other stuff. And obviously, but I got that concept. I also understood a playbook. We didn't, like when the people picked on Kendall Browse, I never got handed a playbook at Florida State. We had a playbook, but coach made us take a book every year, and we had to write the plays as he wrote them on the board. And I had to understand 4 different defenses in camp. So we had we see the 4-4. We're going to see the 3-4 or the odd man front. We're going to see the 4-3 base. That's what we're practicing against most of the time because that's what we run. But most of the teams will see. And then he'll always throw in a Bears look. Because and that's basically a 5-down lineman with a no TNT. Tackle, nose, tackle, no matter what else they do, we call that Bears front. I knew how to get to the Mike linebacker on ISO before the end of camp.
And you know what else you knew how to do? And this is the big thing I think Florida State's struggling with, at least when I watched them against Georgia Tech. It's almost like they're not having a blitz pickup period.
Oh, they are not.
It's almost like the running backs don't know what the offensive line's responsibility is, vice versa. I don't know.
No,
but in everything you just mentioned, was there not a blitz pickup period?
Period 1. Matter of fact, period 1, we call it pecker sled. Just the one-man sled, hit, drive. Everybody got to know how to run block. That's the basic foundations of it. Period 2, shield, mirror drills. Basically, take away the inside, the base concepts of blitz pickup. Period 3 with the linebackers on air, blitz pickup. 5, and then we go to like screen. No, excuse me. Routes on air, just out of the backfield with a quarterback. Handoffs. Basically, your basic individual stuff, and then we would go to 7-on-7 on air, team on air, inside on air. Basically, the install, like the first
daily too. The
first. If I really think about it, the first we have 24 periods. The first 15, maybe 6. I say the first 15 periods are basically install. And that's a period is 5 minutes. So whatever 15 times 5 is, that's how much daily we spent on making sure we understood the plays.
We should make this a regular segment because there are things, and it's not to make fun of people in my mind. It's like we hear commentators say things, we hear other people say things, and you just kind of assume they're the truth. They're not. They're not. Like, I think we should make this a normal thing where we explain to people what you should look at within a game. Like, I think people have this idea of a script of it's 15 plays, they run it in order, and it's their 15 best plays. And that's not what it is.
No, it's not.
It's not even close to what it is. If that's what it is, you have yourself a bad coaching staff. Like, it is 15 plays that set the tone for the rest of the game and give you information. Like, you have got to get information from those 15.
Matter of fact, script means the same thing in every aspect of life. When you go to the doctor and they give you a script, they give it to a pharmacist, and that has information for them to be able to fill the prescription. And it has information for you to know how to take said prescription in a proper manner. You're trying to find out how they react to it, and this is what it says to fans in plain English. When you hear, and this isn't an attack on anybody, this is just the truth, and I'm tired of people lying to you. When you hear somebody when we got off script, that's when we messed up. What they're telling you is when the defense adjusted, we had no answers.
Correct.
And I'm not coaching very well.
Correct.
That's the truth.
And we could do a whole other segment on why they didn't have answers. But
right.
At the very base level, you're exactly right. Like I'll give you a couple that I want to get to the next couple of days or next couple of weeks. I hate when announcers say, "Oh, he threw that off his back foot."
Oh yeah, you broke that down the other day.
Oh, that drives me crazy. And then I also hate when people say, "Oh, he's staring the throws down." Man, they are in man coverage. Ain't nobody's even looking at the quarterback. Y'all stop. What do you want him to do? Throw blind? I mean, there are times where they can stare it down, but I think this is a segment we should do. We should explain when you're watching football and an announcer says, "Hey, he stared that route down." I want you to be able to fire back and go to your wife or your loved one and go, "That announcer is an idiot because this is what he was doing."
That's why what you're saying is the reason why it's my hate o'clock. I know we got to wrap up. The reason why it's my hate o'clock is that I've got a bunch of people coming at me with theory and practice of football answers. And I say that this might be a shirt brand for me. And I got into it with a guy who is a former nose walker, but he's good. He's smart. He's really cerebral with it. But I'm like, it's not theory and practice of freaking football. At the end of the day, it's applications. It's a reason why there aren't very many millionaires that teach business school. Mm-hmm. They can tell you the theory and the practice of it, but they can't tell you how to truly apply it. So what it is a bunch of buzzwords that I know I can get you wrapped around with, and you can click it. And then what happens is you feel armed enough to come talk to somebody who's lived, breathed, and eaten.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, that's not what you're regurgitating isn't the true truth. That's not what a script is. Now, again, if they just don't have answers, that's a completely different argument. And I agree with you. Sometimes it gets out of hand. You don't have answers. But if you go off of a script and you're not doing good off of a script, you can't coach.
I see a future YouTube content here. I love this idea. I love what we just did. I think we should make this a weekly thing and even put some YouTube. We can do it at my facility. I've got the film room where we actually show people, hey, this is actually what's going on. I think people would eat that up.
I don't know. Even what you were talking about with run blocking. Somebody was arguing, dude, this is what I did. Not run blocking, pass block. So Corbin, I'm sorry, still, I know you guys are tired of me running this, but this is the only example I really have. Corbin's lined up on the right.
Who's Corbin?
The running back.
Okay.
He's lined up on the right.
Okay.
Shotgun.
Okay.
They're bringing pressure 2 off the edge to the right.
Okay.
His side. I don't know what the pass protection is, but typically you have inside, outside. I pick up the first person, that person off the edge, that's the quarterback's man. But if I hit that person on the inside, he should have enough time to get his drop, throw it.
Because the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line.
Exactly. Some reasoning, he goes to the opposite side of the line to help block the defensive end.
So they were sliding to the...
which isn't a problem. But to go across from where you're at, when you see pressure...
That's on the quarterback.
When you see pressure, there's no reason to do that. But you also, as a running back, if they tell you, if you see somebody coming here off the edge and you know we don't have that person accounted for, you got to go pick them up without the quarterback even telling you. That defensive end on the backside at least has one person blocking them. Mm-hmm. Maybe not very good, but they at least have one person blocking them. But to go across the line, that's a very difficult position to put a running back in who doesn't block 24/7. You got to control your